Hello, everyone, and we welcome you to the Filmmaking Sucks podcast.
I don't have my intro.
That's it. There's no intro. This is where we tell you all of the mistakes that you could possibly make while working on set and how to avoid a few of them.
And we're your hosts, Lynn.
And Manny.
And there's no Mario.
There's no Mario.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. It's just us today. So that happens. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
So
it's a thing. We're a thing.
Yeah.
Things.
I guess so. We're sitting here and we're talking and smoking. So deal with it, everybody.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Just
deal with it. We're smoking because we're filmmakers and we need some sort of stress relief.
Announce that to the world.
Yes.
Was that a segue?
I guess so.
No, that's the wrong episode.
No. What we're going to discuss today is we're going to do a little kind of, I guess, current event ish.
Oh, current event.
Somewhat current event ish. Recently, what was the date? We did Chiller Theater.
Yes.
That was what, April something.
Yeah.
About 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were at Chiller Theater in Parsippany, New Jersey. We've been doing Chiller Theater on and off as vendors.
As guest vendors.
Vendors for approximately on and off for about 7 years.
Yeah.
We've never had our own table at Chiller.
No, but we've had them at other conventions.
Yeah. Yes, we've been running our own table again on and off for the last 5 years. We've had our own table.
Yep.
And now I know a lot of filmmakers out there don't know this. Not that they don't know this, but they don't really do this.
Well, I'm actually intrigued because I don't know if this is like a very East Coast thing. I feel like a lot of the podcasts that I listen to with other filmmakers, they don't even talk about this.
No, they don't.
And I don't know if this is just kind of like an East Coast kind of thing that we do.
I think it is. Well, you know what? I think the convention circuit in general is
bigger on the East Coast.
No. It's a very specific type of filmmaker. And again, as we've said in the past, we're trying to talk to some specific people, and I think that's our.
Those are our tribe.
That's our tribe. Yes,
that's our tribe. Those are our peeps.
Those are our peeps. The people who they make films.
Self-distribution is an option.
Yeah, but not just self-distribution as in what
VOD.
The typical self-distribution.
Right.
Self-distribution as in literally making your own copies of your films and selling them at a table at a convention.
Right.
Where you are physically selling your own films to another person and taking their money.
Yes.
Okay? This is something that, it's true. There's not many. We know a lot of filmmakers that do it.
We do.
Because that's kind of our circle.
Right.
We go to festivals and conventions all over, and you see sometimes festivals have tables and things like that. And that's kind of what we want to talk about is conventions and film festivals, selling your own thing today.
And a little bit of, getting involved in your local filmmaking scene, attending events.
Yeah.
It might seem that we're a little off because we're in New York City and we have a lot of different resources that others who are listening may not.
Yeah.
But we'll get into this later. Mm-hmm. But I think it's about surrounding yourself in the film world, I guess.
Yeah. So let's start with where we started then.
Okay.
All right. Our first horror convention, the first convention
that we attended,
okay, was Monster Mania 1.
Was it 1 or 2?
1 and 2. We went to 1 and 2.
You're right, we did.
Yeah, we went to Monster Mania 1, and that's 2006 or so.
Probably
2005, 2006 or so.
We've been together a really long time. Oh my god.
But that was the first one we attended.
Yes.
We went there on our own.
As fans.
Yes, as fans. And we came home with a literal garbage bag full of merchandise.
And no money. No money whatsoever. Yeah, I think I had like 3 pennies.
Yeah. We're now to be clear, we're not autograph hounds. We don't really collect autographs. We did get a few at the time because it was the first time we'd been there. It's like, oh my God, we have to meet these people.
They didn't go well either, so that may have turned us off.
Well, it's not even that it turned. I think that those couple of times we actually did go for autographs. I had that moment where I realized standing across the table from this actor who I love his work and I love his or her work and everything that they've done. Standing on the other side of the table, I realized to myself that there's a good chance this person is never going to take me seriously as a filmmaker when I introduce myself to them as a fan.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm standing here paying for their autograph, I'm not an equal filmmaker. I'm not an equal. Exactly. I'm not an equal. Yeah. I'm a fan. I'm a person who's paying for.
You're in a line.
Yeah. I'm going to take exactly. I'm going to take their autograph, stick it in a frame, hang it on my wall, and stare at it and just bask in the glory of it. Now, I'm not. I sound a little cynical towards this, and I'm
a little
not,
condescending.
A little, yes. I don't mean any.
If that's your thing, that's your thing. We're judgment free zone here at Filmmaking Sucks.
Yeah, we have a lot of friends that collect autographs and
they collect memorabilia. They collect replicas. They collect actual screen used props.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing against that. If that's your thing, that's what you enjoy, then that's great. You know, that's awesome. Good for you. You've met a lot more celebrities and people, had more interaction with them than I have in my entire life.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know we have a couple of friends who go to these shows and they end up sitting at the bar, drinking with them. They're in their hotel, they're partying, they're having lunch and dinner with all these celebrities and they're meeting them all and everything. But me personally, I want to meet you on set. I want to meet you as an equal. I want to be sending you a script. I want to meet you as a producer, as a director, as a peer, as somebody who you could work with, you know, and just in my own head, I don't see that shift.
Right.
I don't see where that line, you know, crosses specifically.
Well, I actually had a really hard time with this at Chiller, actually. One of our amazing actresses and really good friend, Tina Demko, found out that I'm a huge Muppet freak.
Yeah.
Huge. And she happened to mention that she is friends with one of the Muppeteers. I don't want to keep dropping names because that's not what we're about. But she happened to mention that she was friends with him and offered to take me by the table and introduce me to him. And of course, I get to the table and I'm fangirling so hard because there's an actual screen-used red Fraggle sitting in front of me. And I'm completely losing my mind over the red Fraggle. And Dina, who is amazing and incredible, and I'm going to keep saying that, says, this is my friend, Lindsay. She is a movie producer and director, and I'm in her latest movie. And instantly I saw the entire face change.
He saw you differently.
He saw me differently.
You weren't just another fan standing in front of him. You were someone coming to him, first off, being introduced through another friend of hers, saying, hey, this is a friend of mine. She's a filmmaker. I'm in her movie.
Yeah.
And she's a fan of yours.
Yes.
You know, so instantly part of him saw you as a peer. You're another person who's doing what he's doing. You love his work.
Yes.
But the fact that you love his work has actually allowed you to go and make your own. He is one of the people who've inspired you to make your own films.
Yeah, and I even got a chance to tell him that. You know, I showed him I have doozer tattoos. I have a film, you know, people who don't know me, which I don't know who listens to this, but I have a film reel or film cells, a roll of film that goes around my arm. And then I actually have 3 doozers that are, you know, hanging out all around the film. So they're working on the film. So it always, to me, reminds me of the hard work that goes into filmmaking. And I actually got the opportunity to tell him that. And that's what it meant to me. And I think it actually meant something more where it was like, not only am I a fan that like says that you're inspiring me, I've actually went and accomplished something. Yeah. You know, and I actually went on to tell him, you know, I did make another feature film and a featurette and a number of short films. And he was pretty impressed, like, to know somebody who was kind of, you know, well into a beginning of a career. And it was super great. He signed a little poster for me and told me to keep up the good work. And he actually invited...
He gave it to you.
He gave it to me.
He didn't charge you for it. He signed it and handed it to you.
He signed it and gave it to me. As a present.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, again, you weren't just a fan to him. At that moment, you weren't just a fan.
Yep.
You know? And that has always been my issue with me personally paying for autographs. I feel they're never going to see us as a fan.
Yeah, and he actually offered to give us a tour of his studio.
See, there you go. Years ago, we used to go to Chiller Theater, and we would one of the people we'd go see is Misty Monday.
Yes.
We'd always go to see her. We never actually made it over to her table, though.
No.
We never had the guts to actually walk up to her table and talk to her.
Nope.
Okay. Years later, she's in our new movie. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's Erin Brown.
Yeah.
She's in our new film. And we did tell her that we used to go there and see her, and she thought it was funny, but at the same time, a little weird.
Yeah.
You could see it in her face that it was a little that suddenly she's sitting here in a room with people who would literally come see her at a show.
Yeah.
She's sitting here in a room being paid for a role by a couple of fans.
Yes.
And something in her mind kind of changed. She saw us a little bit differently.
It was a little uncomfortable of a moment because
For a moment, yes.
Yeah. It's not that you're in a working relationship anymore. Now it's kind of like there's that switch from fan to professional and professional to fan
Back
again.
to fan again.
And it's that's a weird switch because it's kind of, I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like it could be creepy.
Yeah,
Like, I've watched your movies and I love you.
especially because of the movies she's made. That's
Yeah.
what it is. I think it's a big thing is the movies she's made. I mean, they're softcore porn.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, oh, okay, you watched my movies, and now I'm sitting here making your movie.
Yeah. What kind of fantasy are you playing in your head?
Exactly. You know, what are you doing with this footage now?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying that everybody feels this way. I'm not saying she felt that way. It's just that,
It could totally be us putting something, our own spin on it inside our own heads.
exactly. You know, but that's just something I can't get over personally.
Yeah.
It's in my head, and that's why I don't like. I'm not big on meeting celebrities at conventions.
Yeah.
So, with that out of the way, we obviously don't go to conventions for the celebrities. Sometimes I look at the guest list and I try to figure out, well, who would we like to use in a film, and how can we find a way to talk to them in that professional manner? You know, a friend of ours did a movie, and he had a big actor who was in his film,
Right.
and the big actor had dropped out. So he happened to be scheduled for a convention. You know,
A local, by
for
him.
another convention.
Yeah.
He was scheduled to be there, and his actor had just dropped out. So he actually found someone else maybe a higher caliber.
I'd say
you know,
so.
Definitely better performance of an actor.
Yes.
Definitely better perform. Again, just not dropping names here. But definitely a better performance actor, and this is definitely somebody that every one of you have heard of.
Yes.
All right. And he approached him, told him what the situation was. They're shooting a film, and this XYZ person dropped out, and we are looking for a replacement. He took this actor to dinner.
Yep.
And they talked it over, and essentially, based on the price that he gave him, he did give him a rate, because of course he is being paid.
Yep.
He did give him a rate, and as far as I know, they went through the union, so it was all above board and everything. Their agreement was, I'm scheduled at this show, and then I'm scheduled at that show next week, the actor said. If we can shoot all my stuff, because we're local, both shows are local, and you're shooting locally, if you can shoot all my stuff between now and then, I'm just going to be sitting in a hotel room for the next 5 days waiting for this. If you can shoot all my stuff in the next week, then we have a deal.
Yeah.
And they did it, and he scrambled, and he scheduled everything. He got it all together, and they did it. And now his face is on the poster. The name is on the poster. He's actually a pretty decent sized role of the film. It's not just a 2-minute cameo.
Yeah.
It is a major role in the film.
I mean, I think that's the other thing too. We have a number of friends who actually will go to these conventions, and they'll actually approach actors that they're interested in having in the movie, and they actually have like a 1 or 2 minute little cameo.
Yeah, they shoot a 1 or 2 minute cameo with them in the hotel, and then they're forced to find a way to fit it into their film.
Right.
You know, which puts a name into the film. But again, not to disparage them or nothing, but does that really help the film when it's obvious where you have filmed? Okay, you obviously shot this at a hotel room at a convention.
Yes.
Especially considering the other people who, when you get 2, 3, 4 of them from the same convention, and now all these actors are in your film, and they have the same wall behind them in the same hotel room, the same this, the same that. It's obvious where you shot it and how you got them.
Yeah.
Okay. And specifically because of the fact that these guys are selling these films at these same conventions. Anybody who buys their film at the convention, now again, these guys, they have fans that love the stuff that they do.
Yeah.
And that's what they enjoy. It's that kind of trauma guerrilla style of just, shoot it and make it and get
I mean,
it done,
it's also super, I mean, I'm sure we'll get onto this, but it's super easy to sell a film like that. It's like, oh,
Yes.
you like so-and-so? Guess who's in my movie? Guess who's in my movie? Guess who's in my
Yes,
movie?
Exactly. So it's easy to sell the film, but what about those people who see the film and they like what it is, but once they see that actor and the 4 others who they just saw at that same convention 6 months ago, now they just paid for a movie.
Yeah.
With them being shot at the same convention, and they look at it like, yeah.
You're very negative today.
I'm not being negative. I
feel like you kind of are.
No. We're talking about the possible mistakes that can be made.
Okay, I agree. I mean, let me come at it from
That's something. I'm not being negative about
No.
it. I'm just being factual.
Yeah, no, I mean,
This
there's
is just the fact.
There's definitely pros and cons to it. And if you're going to be selling your movie at a convention by yourself and you're going to be literally burning the DVDs and putting the stickers on, because you know what, we've all been there.
Yep.
You know, we did that for Blood Slaughter. We did that did we do that for Attack of the Brain People?
No, Brain People, we just did our own. We
just had a run. Okay.
We did a run. We didn't make our own copies of them, of Blood Slaughter either. We got them done from Guest
I was thinking about, you're right. I was thinking about the trailers.
We did all our short films and everything. All of our short films we've made our copies of our own and done sticker DVDs and things like that.
Made our own cases and our own slip covers. We've done it. And yeah, I mean, it would be, there are pros to being able to be like, oh, so-and-so's in my film. It is going to make it easier to sell something.
Yes.
The cons of that is production value. If you're just going to have a bunch of people kind of thrown in to the mix, it's hard. But we have seen it done very well once. And that was a filmmaker who actually, in the storyline, his characters are in trouble and they call for help. And they actually cut through all of the celebrities and the celebrities all say no to them. And I think it was smartly done. I think that was a smart way to do it. Mm-hmm. If you're going to do it,
I actually shot one of those for him.
I know you did.
I was the cameraman for one of those.
But I think that, instead of just kind of shoving it into a movie, doing it in that way, it was funny. And I mean, he was making something that was funny.
Yeah.
So it was really funny to see the celebrities that they called and just be like, what? Who is this? It went with, it fit what he was doing and it fit the project well. Mm-hmm. So I mean these are all things that you have to take into account when you're considering doing it this way.
It's a matter of what type of movie you're trying to make.
Yeah,
that's what it is. If you're making something that's funny and schlocky and low budget, then it's an excellent way. You hand one of these celebrities $50, and they'll say a line on camera for you.
Yep.
They absolutely will. Mm-hmm. Because again, not to disparage them, not to disparage these celebrities, but.
There's a reason why Jessica.
There's a reason why they're sitting at that table right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the Walking Dead guys. No, they're doing it because it's part of their contract.
Yeah.
It's part of AMC's promotional tour.
Yeah.
They're doing it. They're getting paid handsomely to be there. Mm-hmm. A lot of these guys are making a lot of money being there. Some of those guys are making more money at a convention than they are sitting on set for a day.
Yeah.
When I went to Horrorhound. And I saw Jeffrey Dean Morgan was there. He had the single longest line in the history of Horrorhound.
Wow.
All of their shows.
I mean, even when Daryl Dixon was at Chiller, his line
Daryl Dixon?
Daryl Dixon. Whatever.
Norman Reedus,
Daryl, whatever.
Well, that was,
his name
his last
when he was there,
at Chiller.
Yeah. The line was literally around the building.
They opened the fire door.
Yeah.
Because the line was so long down the hallway, instead of letting it snake around around inside the hotel, they opened up the fire door and they let the line go out the fire door and across the parking lot. Mm-hmm. So and you know what? I'm going to tell you, the Jeffrey Dean Morgan line was longer than that.
Wow.
It was longer than that.
Wow.
This line, a friend of mine who got on that line for the autograph, he got on the line around 3 o'clock in the afternoon or so. At 5:30, they decided, because the show was closing at 6, they decided they were going to give people tickets. Okay, and with those tickets, you get a half-hour interval. So at 5 o'clock, they gave him a ticket that said, because they had to break up the line because they're closing the place.
Right.
So come back 6:30, get on the line. You can get on the line at 6:30, and then people get on at 7, and people get on at 7:30. He got on his line. So at 5 o'clock, after being on the line for about an hour and a half, they gave him the ticket. Come back at I think his was 6:30. Come back at 6:30, get on the line. He wasn't out of there till 9:30.
Oh my God.
So even 6:30, getting on that line, he sat on it for another 3 hours.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And realized that these are people. And to his credit, Jeffrey D. Morgan actually said, and the reason why they did this was he said, I will sit here until everyone is done.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So half hour before the show, they said, all right, we're cutting the line off here. You're on the line. You're going to get in.
Yeah.
You know, they couldn't let people continue
on the line.
Continue to get on the line because it's just going to go.
It's never ending then. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just going to go all night long. You know? So yeah, if he got off at 9, let's just put it that way. He got off between 9 and 9:30. You know? And so they told him at 5 to come back at 6. So imagine the people who they told to come back at 5:30, 6:30, the people who were behind him online.
That were coming in at 7:30.
And he got on earlier than 5. He got on at 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
The people who got on within that last hour and a half.
Oh my God.
Who were coming in at 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, imagine what time they got out at 11.
Yeah.
You know, because we were at the after party, which was in a hotel across the street. And 11 o'clock, there were still people coming in from the hotel with their Jeffrey D. Morgan signatures.
Wow.
Coming in for the after party.
Yeah.
You know, so that line went on for a long time. But anyway, enough about the celebrities here. The purpose, the reason of this is, this is one of my problems, and maybe I am a little negative on this because it's one of those things where I've kind of gotten tired of doing the convention thing.
Yeah.
You know, and this is just because this is me, just where I feel we're at in our career. I'm starting to feel like making films and burning them to DVD, or even getting a run done by disc makers.
A limited run,
which is where most of the guys get them done. They get them done at disc makers because they're really fast, and especially around our area because they're. Disc Makers has a facility right down the road from Monster Mania.
Yeah.
So we used to have the order done, and instead of paying $60-$70 for shipping, we would just swing by the warehouse, pick them up, and then go right into
the show,
and then take it straight to Monster Mania. So that was one less box to carry in, and hopefully one less box to carry out because you get the 100 DVDs made, and hopefully we sell them through the course of the weekend.
Right.
Okay. So my issue now here's the thing. You make your film, all right? Let's say, for the argument, for the statement, for the status of who we're talking to, the people who we're talking to, you make your feature film. Say $10,000,
Yeah.
all right? Now you got a $10,000 film here. You're going to, all right, your idea is self-distribution. To hell with chasing distributors down. We're going to sell this ourselves. We're going to go to conventions because I know I can sell this. All right, now let's just assume you're a good salesman.
Yeah.
Okay? Most of us are not. And if you're not, this is not the line for you. We are not good salespeople.
No.
We're not good at this. We're not good at talking up people and selling our own stuff. We're just not.
No.
A couple of guys we know, they are excellent.
Amazing.
They will sell you anything.
They'll show you the shirt off your own back.
And they're good at it. So they go to these shows, and a lot of the time they do really well. Takes time to get to the point where they do well, though.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to do great with just one movie sitting on your table.
No.
Okay? So here's what you do. You got your $10,000 movie. Now you've edited it yourself, saved the money on an editor.
No.
All right? You've paid, $100 for the DVD authoring program. All right? You did that yourself. So now you're at $10,000 and $100. All right? You go to disc makers, you get yourself 100 DVDs made. There's $350 right there because you're probably going to get the posters too to go with it because the posters are cheap. Yeah. So there's $350 right there. Excuse me, $450 because the posters.
Right.
So $450 there. Okay, now we're at $10,500. Give or take.
Give or take.
Okay. You're going to go to Chiller Theater for the weekend. All right. You're going to get a $400 table. You're going to get a $400 hotel room for the weekend. And you're going to add in your travel costs.
And you have to feed yourself.
And you got to feed yourself.
And whoever's working the table with you, because a one-man table is hard.
Yes. So, between your $400 table, your $400 hotel room, your gas, your food for the weekend, it is now costing you almost $1,200 just to show up.
Yep.
Add in that $400 for your merchandise, and now this is just your DVD and poster.
Yep.
You're going to run an entire table with just a DVD and poster? Probably not. You're probably just like the rest of us. You got a bunch of pins made. You got a bunch of stickers made. You got your you got 2-3 designs of a T-shirt made. You know,
Please don't do that.
you got a banner behind your. You are looking at another $1,000.
Yeah.
Between for all of your merchandise.
First show setup. Yeah.
For your first show setup, you're looking at $1,000. All right, between your merch and everything. So $1,200 to be there, another $1,000 worth of your merchandise and your table setup. Okay, so we are now at what, $12,000.
Yep.
All right, and we're only doing one show.
One show.
Okay, because your DVDs were cheap. Your DVDs were $20 for 100 of them. And you did it on your home computer. Let's not even add in all those little expense things there.
Okay.
Let's skip that because we're nitpicking now. So you're looking at $12,000 from your movie to the first day you can sell it. All right. You've on top of that now, you knew you were going to do the show because you have to book these tables a good 4 or 5 months at least in advance because they do sell out.
Yep. So
you've been pushing for 5 months that your film is going to be there. You've been pushing it on social media. You've been pushing it on Facebook. You've been pushing it on Twitter. You're pushing on Instagram. And,
you've been tagging every single person who's in the movie. And
you've gotten a whole 10 shares out of it,
4 likes.
And you walk into the show and you're already a little disappointed because of all the money you've put down and the lack of support you get from a lot of people. Now, I'm not shitting on people for their lack of support. People have lives. You can't expect everybody to love your movie as much as you do.
No.
You just can't. People will support you to an extent. All right. If you've made a $10,000 movie, I guarantee you have called in a lot of favors. A lot of your actors have worked for free for you. You've shot in your mother's apartment. Your mother's sick of seeing your friends make a mess in your house. You shot at,
You're not the most popular person right now.
Yeah. And that's not like people don't like you.
No.
They're just a little tired of you at this point because you've spent the last year manipulating their time. And now you want them to come to a convention to buy the DVD they just helped you make.
Yep.
Guess what? You can't do that because you have all these people who worked for you for free. Now 50 copies of that DVD.
And I'm sure you found a release online that says I will work for credit and a copy.
Yes. Now minimum 50 copies of that first run is going away for free. You're giving it to everybody who worked on it with you. All right. So you've only got 50 copies left to sell at this show now. So if you sell them at $10 each, at most, if you sell every single copy, you're making $500. Yep. You are a quarter of the way there to covering your table. Yep. Your first table cost. You're a quarter of the way there. Because it costs you $2,000 to be here. So if you sell every DVD, all 50 DVDs, all 50 of the posters that are left over because you gave them all posters too.
Yep.
Okay. And the posters, what are you going to sell? You sell the posters at $5 each. If you sell them at 10, you'll be lucky.
Yep.
So you're going to sell them at $5. Chances are you're going to give them away. Everybody who buys a DVD, give them a free poster.
Yep.
All right. So the posters have made you next to nothing. Made you next to nothing. All right. You got to sell a bunch of DVDs, and that's fucking great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You got to sell them. You got to sign them.
It's exposure. You got to sign them.
Yes,
you got people to meet you. They know your brand. They know who you are.
Yes. Now you've done your first show, and you're coming home with best case scenario because you're probably not going to sell the T-shirts.
Yep.
Truth is, you're not going to sell your T-shirts. T-shirts are too expensive. You're gonna get them made for $7 or $8 each. You're gonna have to sell them for like $15. Okay, for you sell them at $10, you're making almost nothing back.
Yep.
You're barely making your shipping back.
Yeah.
All right, so you got to do them at least $12 to $15 each. All right, some people I've seen sell them at $20 each. It also depends on how many you're buying. How many are you going to get?
And how good the art is.
Yeah, you're also going to get
how many colors it takes to print it.
Yes,
there's so many variables.
There's a lot of variables to your T-shirts. Okay, so your problem now is you are at the most coming home with maybe $700 or $800. All right. So you're what? 1/3 of the way there.
Yep.
To what cost you to get to your first show.
Now,
you haven't even touched nowhere near the budget of the film.
And if you're planning on coming back.
No, well, that's next step.
Yeah.
All right. You did the one that's $700. damn, I sold all my DVDs, I sold all my posters, I made $700. I have to do another run of DVDs, so add another $400. All right, so you're back down. Now you're down to $200 you've made because you're just going to take that $400, put it right into another run of DVDs and posters. Then you're going to do another show, and now you have a full. Now you're going to have a full thing of full.
You have a full setup,
full 100 DVDs to sell.
Yeah,
great. But you're back to another $300 to $400 for a table, $300 to $400 for a hotel room. So you're back to another $1,200 just to be there.
Yep.
Okay. Plus another $400 for your, so $1,600 just to be there again.
Yep.
And if you sell all 100 DVDs and you sell all 100 posters at $10 each, posters and DVD, best case scenario.
Yeah.
If you sell all of them, you're only making $2,000 for the entire weekend.
Yep.
All right. What are we still in the hole for of just merchandise? You've just covered this show now. You're still $1,400 to at least $1,000 in the hole from the last show.
Right. And your movie budget is still sitting there.
Yes. And exactly. And you haven't even gotten your money back from the movie yet. You're not even close to that yet.
No.
Okay. This convention circuit becomes a money pit.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the other thing I just want to mention, really touch on one of the things you have to realize when you start doing these conventions, and a lot of these conventions require a tax ID.
There's that too.
So you are now filing, which is free to get a tax ID from the state that you're in. But almost every state starts you off on a quarterly filing.
Yep.
So if you're going into multiple states,
our example, we live in New York. We actually have an LLC here in New York.
Yes.
We have a tax ID in New York, and we have a tax ID in Jersey as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And New Jersey is one of those few states that runs a completely different calendar year. They have an extra month, so their calendar year runs into February, when everybody else ends in December.
Yep.
So their quarterlies are a month off of all the typical.
Yeah.
So pretty much we have to file every
quarterly for New York.
And file quarterly.
A month later, we have to file again for New Jersey.
Yes.
Even if we made no money, we have to file zero. So we are filing taxes 8 times a year.
Yes.
And then our yearly.
Yes.
So 10 times a year, right? 10 times a year.
Yeah.
Yes, because we still have to file a quarterly at the end of the year and then do our yearly.
Yeah, yearly. So it's 9.
So
9 times.
No. Well, yes, 9 times because we're only filing once for the end of the year.
Yep.
Yes. So we're filing taxes 9 times a year.
Yeah. And just because you didn't make your money back does not make the money that you made at the show non-taxable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's still taxable.
It's still taxable. So you have to take a percentage of whatever you sold and send it off to the state to pay the sales tax.
So that best case scenario of $1,700 or $1,800 you've made between 2 shows, that best case scenario of that, you are still, you made $2,000, right? Yeah, you made $2,000 plus $700. So the best case scenario of $2,700 you made, you're only taking home maybe $1,800 of it, because a third of it is going to go into your taxes through the course of the year.
Yeah.
And then you'll get a return at the end of the year, sure.
Yeah.
But throughout the course of the year, you're going to be putting 25 to 30% of that straight into your taxes.
Well, I mean, now you're confusing everybody. There's income tax and sales tax. Sales tax you don't get back.
Yes, you're right. But it's okay. So there's still another file. We still have income tax.
Yes.
Yeah, we're still filing income.
That's the yearly.
Yeah, but we still pay income tax too.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah.
So either way, you're still you're putting 20% of it into sales tax.
And I know you guys are thinking like, I just want to make movies. Why are you talking to me about sales tax?
How we feel.
Why are you talking to me about money? Why are you talking to me about budgets? And
yes, but this is the truth.
This is the truth.
This is what it.
You want to be in the trenches. This is the trenches.
Yes, and that's what it takes. And this is only 2 states. You go into other states, you need a tax ID for every single state you sell in. Okay, and we know a couple of people who've worked on other people's tables and had. Well, okay, they already have a sales ID and they'll let me use their ID for the weekend. That's fine. People do that all the time. Yeah. Technically, though,
you're not supposed to do that.
No, or you're not supposed to.
You're supposed to make the convention aware that you are table sharing.
But yes and no. Yes and no. No. what you're supposed to be doing then is the person who is letting you use their sales tax ID, they are supposed to be filing your sales as their sales.
Yes.
And they are supposed to be paying the tax on it. If technically that's what should be happening.
I guess so.
You are giving, technically, as far as the state is concerned, you are giving them product to sell on their table. You just so happen to be helping them sell it at the table. And when whatever you sell at that show, they have to file it as their income because it's their table and their sales and their sales tax.
Yeah.
It's just like running a store. You run a convenience store. I go to the guy on the convenience store down the street. He knows me. I've known him for years. Hey, look, you guys sell DVDs in a little rack right there, right? How about we put some of mine in there? He has to claim those DVDs as sales in his store. Yeah. This is the same thing. Those tables are small storefronts. Yeah. And they're treated the same way by the state.
Yeah, it would be like a commission based.
Yeah. The state, honestly, in a crude way of saying the state
not commission based. I don't remember the word. But yeah.
The state does not care who
as long as they get their money.
What. They just want their money.
Yeah.
They really don't care who files it, as long as they get their cut. And that's all they care about.
Yep.
Okay? So now you can totally get away with it. These are your friends. They're not gonna take your money. Yeah. They're not taking your money. You're here to help them for the table and you're gonna sell it. Fine. But when you get to these shows, especially the bigger ones, that state tax man is going to be there. Sometimes they're there all weekend long and they're watching and they're listening to the people at the tables. They're listening to what they're doing, what they're selling, who is selling what at the tables, because they know people split.
Yeah.
They know this. So they are going to interrogate and they are going to shake you down and get you to slip.
Yeah.
They're going to get you to slip and say something you shouldn't say.
And you're going to naturally be like, oh, hello, Mr. Taxman. And you're going to get nervous.
Yes. Because, hey, this is the IRS standing in front of you. Yeah. This is the IRS. You go to jail for a very long time. Yeah. Now, you're not going to. They're not going to arrest you right then and there. They are going to kick you out, though, if they don't like it.
Yeah.
They are going to kick you out because that tax guy is going to go right over to the person running that show and he's going to say, hey, this table is blah, 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 blah. They're doing this. And that guy who runs the show is going to come over. Okay, pack up your shit and get out.
And it's going to be you and it's going to be your friend.
And your friend are both gone and neither one of you are ever coming back.
Nope.
Why? Not because you screwed up, because you are screwing him up now.
Yep.
He is supposed to know what you are doing at that table. So when this tax guy comes over to him and says, hey, what's going on with this table? And he can't give him the straight answer of what the tax guy found out on his own.
Yeah.
Now he's getting a fine.
Yeah.
And the last person that is letting him get a fine is you.
And now every single one, and now that tax man can look at every single one of his vendors and give them a hard time.
Yep. Every single vendor is now up for question. He's gonna make this person this showrunner's life a living hell for the next 2 days, and it's all your fault. So trust me, you're never
the next
coming
2
back.
shows more
Easily.
likely.
Easily. No, so trust me, you are never coming back to this show, and you just got yourself kicked out and your friend kicked out.
Yep.
So, if you're going to do shows, you need to get a tax ID.
Yes.
Now, these things are few and far between that these sorts of things happen. Doesn't happen often. It really doesn't.
No.
But it does. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen. Okay, we have seen people had their tables picked up and kicked out and goodbye.
Yep.
Goodbye. And then guess what? The person next to them gets to spread out for the weekend and they get a bigger table.
Yep.
Because again, the tax guy doesn't care who's on what table, how big they're. No, all they want.
Showrunner doesn't care. Showrunner doesn't want empty tables.
Nope, because that table has already been paid for.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And you spreading out to the table, that guy spreading out to the table next to him, well, at least he doesn't have an empty table.
Yep.
Because an empty table looks bad for the show. Mm-hmm. All right? So you are now going through all of this nonsense. And you haven't made any money yet. You're still pumping more money into it.
Yes.
And this is the point where we've gotten to in the last 2 years.
2 or 3 years, yeah.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why do we keep doing this? And every show now we've done shows for quite some time now, and now we have Data States coming out, and we do Chiller. we split a table with somebody, and again, we have a tax ID. We are covered for it. They have a tax ID. They are covered. We have it all. It's taken care of.
Yep.
All right. And the guy who runs the show, he knows what's up at this table. He knows that we're all on the level and everything's taken care of because we made it clear to him.
Yep.
And he's cool because he can answer that question if the tax man asks him.
Yep.
He can answer that question. So, where was I going?
I don't know.
Damn it, I lost it.
Oh, well, after the show is doing shows for 2 or 3 years, we're kind of at this point,
Yes. We have our new movie, Theater States, and every show we do, we get the same question from the people who we've known at the shows for years. Where's the new movie? Where's the new movie? You selling the new movie?
When's it coming out? When's it coming out?
Yeah,
I want to see it. I've heard good things.
Yeah, 2-3 weeks before the show. You guys going to have the movie at the show? You guys going to have the movie at the show? And I have to tell them no. Well, why not? Because we're looking for distribution. So you're not doing any copies of your own? No. Because we've played that game.
Yep.
I did it, and we spent... Blood Slaughter Massacre cost us $13,000 for the film.
Okay.
The film itself cost us $13,000. Okay? 2 years of doing shows, promoting it, and then doing our own run and everything. Put us over $20,000.
Yes.
Okay. 2 years of promoting, spent another $7,000.
Mm-hmm.
And we sold maybe 150 copies on our own.
Yep.
Maybe. No, wait. Yes. Yeah. Well, we did 100 of our own sales.
Yep.
Of the run that we did, we sold maybe 60 or 70 of them. Because again, 40 of them went to people who worked on the movie for us for free.
Yep.
You know? So 40 copies right out the door. We sold 60 on our own of the film. All right?
At this point, I'm half tempted to donate our T-shirts to a homeless shelter and then just get the word of mouth out by letting the homeless people wear them.
Yeah, you know? You know? So we put $7,000 into selling this, and then we ended up getting distribution anyway.
Yep.
You know? And now this is not against a distributor. The distributor has their own costs.
Yep.
We still haven't made, the distributor hasn't made enough money yet to cover his initial costs of selling the film.
Right.
So we haven't seen anything from it yet, and he's had it for 3 years now.
This is really uncomfortable to talk about, but yes, it's true.
Hey, you know what? I saw him at the last show, and we talked about it, and he joked. He said, "Oh, hey, so what do you?" As I said that one of our actresses saw him at the show the day before we got there.
Yeah.
She took a picture and she showed it to me, and he said, and he actually said to me, "What did you tell her? Hey, that's the guy who hasn't made any money for me." He said that to me, and I said, "No, I posted that on Friday, not Saturday. I did that on Friday." But he's fully aware of it.
Yeah.
It hasn't made money.
Yeah.
He knows that.
Yeah.
Okay? Because he's a distributor.
Yeah.
And he's a low, I'm not going to say low level, but he is. He's a low level distributor. He's not Lionsgate for sure. He's not Magnet.
No.
You know, he does indie films. And the truth is, it's damn near impossible to sell no budget indie films.
That with nobody in it that anybody's heard of. And
there's no
the sound is wonky and
it's really hard to sell it. The best part of our film at this point is the art by Joe Robinson.
Yeah.
It's the best part of our film.
Yes.
And that's the easiest way to sell it. That art has sold the movie more than anything else.
Oh, yeah, it has.
Okay?
That was the greatest investment we ever made.
It was. So the point is, after we finished the film in 2013, it is now 2017.
Yes.
We have still not made any money on Blood
We've
Slaughter.
had distribution. It was released on DVD in 2015.
Mm-hmm. And based on our own sales, and even we've gotten movies from him, and we've sold copies because I get them from him. Yeah. And he sends me boxes of 30 or 60 of them at a time so we can sell them at shows ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay? Maybe, best case scenario, we're only at $15,000 in debt. Best case scenario, we're at $15,000 in debt to our movie that we finished almost 5 years ago.
Yes.
And we made a second film.
Yeah.
Which is what you'll end up doing. When you realize you do 2, 3, 4 shows, you realize you're just putting yourself more in debt. Damn, if I make another movie, though, then I'll have 2 to sell at the table.
Yep.
I'll have 2 to sell at the table, and that'll sell. The truth is, though, once you put them down there, you get them both on the table, now you're still doing the same shows.
Yeah.
So the people who've been at those shows, they already have your first movie. Now they're only buying your second.
Yep.
So you're right back in the position you were for the first film. And this is only if you spent the same amount of money rather than upping your budget.
Yeah. And then after a couple of years, if you're doing the same old shows, then all of a sudden the price of your DVDs don't move one show. And you say, you know what? Knock them down to $5.
Yep, you start bringing
knock
the price
them down to $5 each.
Because you're just tired of carrying them around at this point.
Yep.
You know? We've got these T-shirts.
And it's a slow slide because it starts to become like, oh, well, you know, I'll give you, you know, $15, you get both DVDs and both posters.
Yep.
Then it kind of goes $10 each and both posters.
Yeah. You know, and you start to make deals and you start cutting your own throat.
Yeah.
Just because you want people to buy it.
Yeah.
You know? And you're so tired of worrying about the money.
Yeah.
You're so sick to death of it. So what we've come to is a bit of a solution to that. We still sell our own stuff.
We have a solution?
We have a small solution.
Okay.
We're focusing on film festivals rather than conventions. Because conventions is where you go. Because you know that's where you start off at conventions. That's what you do.
Yeah. And conventions are hard because, you know, most people are there for the celebrities.
For the celebrities. By the time they get to the vendor room where you're at, they got no money left for it.
They got no money left for it. And you know, then you're competing with a really cool T-shirt or, you know, the Funkos.
Yep.
You know.
Oh my God, those things are everywhere. Those pop figures and oh my God, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
People are walking out with boxes. They got $50, $60 worth of $10 pop figures.
And then there's the geniuses who have taken from Comic-Con and they have the grab bags. $100 and you get a mystery bag.
Mystery bag with $150 worth of stuff in it because it's all about separating you from your money.
And then you'll do your pitch and then people will be like, okay. Oh, I'm be back.
I'm here the rest of the weekend, so we'll be back. And
we'll be back.
And then if you remember their face, because you see so many faces, if you remember their face, you noticed them the rest of the weekend purposely avoiding your table.
Yep.
Because they told you they'd be back and they have no intention of buying from you.
Nope.
So now, we'll be back. We'll be back. It sounds really interesting. And then they make that little half circle past your table. They go and they turn their head and it kills your spirit. It absolutely kills you.
Yep.
Okay.
And then it's like, then you get the hard questions where it's like,
we actually had somebody say, so wait a minute, if you're selling this for $10, is it any good?
Yeah.
Is this movie crap? That's why you're selling it for $10? And this is our movie. This is and that's the thing. They don't realize that you're the one who's made it.
No.
They think you're just another person selling random DVDs at a table.
Yep.
You know? So one good thing to say, and I will say this for the people who are doing these shows, tell everyone that you made it.
Yes.
You wrote it. You directed it.
Yep.
That actually piques their interest because now they're sitting here. You're almost on par with those people whose autograph that they're paying
and
for.
Actually the thing that you'll find too is the collectors are your very best friends.
Yes.
The people who are like, you made this? Mm-hmm. Now this could be a collector's item because you're signing for free.
10 years from now, you might be Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
You might be, they could be standing in front of the next Jeffrey Dean Morgan right here. And 10 years from now, that single run DVD that you made on your table and you signed
is now
for
a limited
him,
edition.
Yes, is now a collector's edition because there's only 200 of them ever made and that's now worth something.
And you signed them, so forget it.
Yes, exactly. You know, and they got a picture of you that they've stuck on Facebook because, all right, hey, I met these guys who made this crappy movie, you know, but 10 years from now, that guy might be James Wan.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I met him way back when.
And they are your very best friends, and they are very loyal, and they are really what makes the shows worth it because they have 100 times over, they come up to you and they're like, you got something new, I love this, I love that.
I'm going to say this, for as negative as I'm sounding right now, for all the people we've met over all the years, they are the reasons we still do the shows.
Yes.
Because they come to every single show and they stop by the table and they say hi. They say, what's going on? What do you got new? Whatever's new, hand it to me. I will buy it, sign it, give it to me.
Even if you have nothing, they're like, oh, I didn't get a shot glass last time. Let me get your shot glass. Let me get your pin. Let me get something.
Yes. So you will build an amazing following by doing these shows. And that is that is the benefit of them. You get to meet the fans, the people who truly do love the indie guys. Even if your movie's not the best, the fact that you made it, They love that.
We actually have one guy, he bought, I think he was probably one of the very first people to buy a DVD off of us. He actually took a picture with his original DVD that he bought from us and the DVD he bought when it was actually released. When it
went in the stores, he found it in a store, took it, and took a picture of them side by side.
Yep.
Because he supported us that much.
Yes.
And that was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I actually remember who bought our first T-shirt. You know?
Yeah.
And he's gone on to other things in his life, so he doesn't go to the shows as often as he used to. Mm-hmm. You know? But the few times we've seen him at a show, hey, even on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, we see him, we say hello. You know, he sees our films, he shares it. You know, this is the purpose of going to these shows.
Yeah, you do build a following. You do. It's all about marketing. It really, like now looking back after all these years, it really is. It's marketing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's what it is. Your table with your banner behind you, you spent $1,200 to let 3,000 or 4,000 people look at your name or your film's name in a 5-foot sign behind your head for 3 days.
Yeah, and they took pictures of everything. So your banner is somewhere in someone's photo somewhere.
So remember, that's what you're really paying for.
And you have to remember too, Hollywood spends at least half their budgets on marketing.
Easily.
So this money that we're talking it's a drop in a bucket compared to like what Hollywood does.
Oh, it totally is. It totally is. We're just letting you know. Remember, this is what you're getting into. If that's the route you want to go,
filmmaking sucks.
Yes. Yes. If the convention route is the way you want to go, then no problem, do it. But you have to understand what you're getting into, the money pit that you're getting into.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's really what it comes down to. It's a money pit.
And you know, I've actually compared, you know, because I mean we do limited number of shows. There's a lot of people who do a lot more shows than we do. Yes. You know, and it's kind of like joining the circus in my mind, where it's like every day, every weekend, you're at another show. You're doing the load up, you're doing the load in, you load out. You're carrying this, you're carrying that. You're in another hotel room. You know. Yeah. And it's when you have a 9-to-5 job, you can't do those Friday days. So either we separate and then we send him down on Friday, and then I make my way on a Saturday morning. Mm-hmm. So it's, you know, I worked all day Friday, packed all my stuff on Friday night, got up at the crack of dawn on Saturday morning, jumped on a train or a bus.
Halfway across Jersey.
So I could be halfway across Jersey. And
by
then
10 a.m.
by 10 a.m. and I have to look cute behind the table because I'm a girl and I'm just like that. And you have to be friendly, you have to be upbeat, you have to be like, you can't be tired from the travel, you can't be annoyed by the bus, you can't be you got to go right into work mode, and you're working, and then all night long, you know, these conventions have great parties. Mm-hmm. So you're out there partying and you're networking and you're out there till 3 a.m. and then you're back at your table at 9 a.m. for the pre-show. Yep. You know, and then you're driving home Sunday night, and then Sunday night you get to wash all the convention grime off of you, fight off whatever plague you caught that weekend, and go back to work on Monday morning.
Yep. It's hell. It's hell. I gotta look. We love it.
We love it.
As much as we're saying about this, we still love doing it. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of what we've come down to after all these years. It comes down to, would I rather put my money into doing more shows or making more movies? Mm-hmm. And that really unfortunately, that's what your decision becomes. Yeah. Do you want to make more movies, or do you want to sell the one you've already made? Yeah. And that's a hard choice to make. It's
really hard.
It's a very hard choice.
You feel very much like you're abandoning your child. Yeah. Like, you know, I feel like I don't even talk about blood slaughter half as much as I should. Mm-hmm. You know, I barely even tag it. The Facebook page is getting cobwebs.
Because we're pushing.
It's all about theta. It's all about that.
So what we've started doing is we're doing film festivals, because honestly, and I've said this to a couple of our friends who do shows, and I say to them, because they're all in the same point where they're not at the same point, but they're all doing the same thing where they're putting more money into selling their film than they're actually making. Yeah. Okay. Some of them do cover, just, you know, they cover the table, and that's okay. Great. They cover the table and a little bit extra. Great. Did you cover the table?
You have to cover the next table now.
Now you got to cover the next table plus all the merchandise for those two tables. Did you do that? Chances are no. Most of them did not. Mm-mm. All right. So we've come down to.
So we, you know, during our runs with the film festivals,
that's where I want to get to. Yes.
You know, as part of the film festival, you know, if your movie's selected, that's awesome. Yes. You know, because now people are going to see your movie, and anything that you have previously, anything that you have that's merchandise wise. Now people have seen your movie, and if they liked it, now they're interested in you. So that awkward sales pitch is removed from the equation.
Yeah, they know who you are already. Whether they liked your film or not will determine whether whether they even stop at your table. If they didn't like your movie, they made that. Forget it. I'm just gonna, and they'll walk right past you, and you don't have to deal with that.
And the other thing is the mindset. They are here to see new movies.
Yes.
They are here to see movies that are
Film festivals are where people come to see movies.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
They come to watch movies, and if you're selling movies, that's where you need to be.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not telling you not to do conventions anymore. Again, this is your choice. If you want to do them or not, do them. But understand that film festivals, people are there to see films. They're there to see new movies that they haven't seen. All right. So you make movies, you need to be at film festivals.
Yes.
That's where you need to be. That
and
is your audience.
Even if you're not screening,
you need to be there.
You need to be
that's
there.
That's the next thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, the thing with film festivals is that, the more people you know, the more film festival knows you, the more relationships you have with a film festival, the better off you're going to be. Because, to say it out loud, when you have a relationship with a film festival,
the system is rigged.
Oh my goodness.
The system is rigged.
Oh my goodness. But no, I mean, let's be honest. We're all humans, and it's human nature. You want to be nice to your friends. When you're friends with somebody, you want to do things for your friends. So if you're friendly with a film festival and they know you and they see your face and you support them and you come even when you're not screening, and you buy your tickets and you bring your friends, and when you do screen, you bring a fair amount of people with you.
Yeah.
These are all things that a film festival looks for and looks at and takes into consideration.
Now, understand we're talking on our level, but this goes from the smallest film festival you've ever seen up to Sundance and Cannes and TIFF and South by Southwest.
There's a reason why the same filmmakers are always at the same festivals.
Exactly. You go to South by Southwest every single year, you will see a Joe Swanberg movie, period.
Yeah.
You will see the new Kevin Smith movie.
Yep.
You will see the new Tarantino movie. Now, of course, they're big names.
Yeah. So, of course, they want them.
Of course, they want them because they're going to sell tickets.
But the reason why they get them is because they played them when they were little.
Yes. Of all these festivals that have been out there, now, all these festivals that they've been to, these guys went there years ago. So when they have a new movie coming out, they want to go back there because they're going to give them a good spot.
Yep.
There's no question. No. Kevin Smith calls up Cannes and says, hey, or South by Southwest or Sundance, hey, I got a new movie coming out. Oh, really? Great. When can we screen it?
Yeah.
There is, I'm sorry. I know that people were, fuck you. I don't care. I don't care what you want to say. If somebody from Sundance is listening to this, bullshit that bullshit of that you're screening films. No, you're not.
You're not going to say no to Tarantino.
No, exactly. If Kevin Smith sends you his movie, you're playing it. And it's getting into competition. That's where it's wrong.
Yeah.
Because this guy is one of the biggest filmmakers on earth.
Yeah.
And he is playing at Sundance, and he's still going to win an award. That's not
he doesn't
fair.
The accolades are not helping his career.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't help you at all. What is it doing? It's helping Cannes. Yeah. It's helping Sundance. It's helping build their brand now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even if he played, it would help.
But yeah, exactly. Just play it. You can just play it.
Just play it.
Let it be a featured film. No, he's still going out with awards from Sundance and South. Now, again, hey, this is nothing against Kevin Smith because, dude, if I was in your position, I'd be doing the same damn thing.
Yeah.
If I could get it at that thing and win some awards from it, great.
Yeah.
Great. That's awesome. Because you know what the truth is? This is Kevin Smith's audience, But 25 years ago, when he had Clerks, who screened it?
Yeah.
Sundance.
Yeah.
These are the festivals that screened it. So he's showing a loyalty to them.
Yes.
They made his career. So he is going to go back to them and give them these films to help sell their tickets. Mm-hmm. He's not doing it for his own personal notoriety.
No.
The problem is that Sundance, in the gentle, I guess. No, you know what? Fuck being gentle. Fuck being gentle. I don't care.
I am so scared what's going to happen. The fallout. I'm just in my mind.
I don't care. I really don't care because this is the truth and this is what people need to hear. This is what needs to be said.
Okay.
All right? Sundance is not doing it as a favor to Kevin Smith.
No.
Okay? They're not doing it. They're not playing his movie because of his...
For the butts that go into the seats. For the butts
in the freaking seats.
Yeah.
Period. All right? So this happens on the low level to the high level. Mm-hmm. All right? It's all over the place.
Yeah.
If you know the people running the festival, you can get in.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this isn't all the time. Okay. You have to grow as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Not just, you can't just throw any crap at these people, but
Right.
you build a relationship with these film festivals and they know you. And when it comes down to
if it's
your
between
film,
you or somebody
yes,
else that they don't know, and they know that you put butts in seats and that
Exactly.
you show up to the show and that you're going to buy tickets and your people are going to
Yeah.
buy tickets.
Versus some guy, let's say
they don't
it's
know.
a film festival somewhere in the middle of nowhere, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's between your film who lives in Pennsylvania or New York or Delaware or somewhere within driving distance. If
Right.
it's between your film and some guy in Arizona. If those are the choices, they're picking the local person.
Yeah.
Especially if they know them, because like you said, they're going to bring their people, they're going to sell tickets, they're going to promote it. The guy in Arizona, good chance he's not even coming.
Yeah.
He can't even make it to Jersey for
Yeah,
this.
you may even get a table, and you know what? That's extra money in their pockets.
Yes, exactly. You know, so this is the reason why to go to film festivals. You go there, whether you're playing or not. Go there, get to know the people who are there, get to know the
Get people to see your
filmmakers who are-
face. Yeah.
Yes, get to know the film festival. Get to know the filmmakers who are there. Get to know the actors who are there. Because you want to know another thing, actors go to film festivals because they all want to get hired.
Yeah.
They go to film festivals. Because you know what the truth is? Actors are not spending their money on producing films. They're spending their money on film festivals
Yeah.
so that they can meet
Network.
other directors
They
and
can
other
network.
producers. Exactly. They're there to network. So if you're having a difficult time finding actors, go to a couple film festivals. We go to a film festival literally right down the street from us. It's not well, it was a film festival, a screening. It's a monthly screening. We've met costume designers there. We've met a set designer, makeup and special effects people, cameramen, actors,
Writers.
producers, film festival owners,
Making music people.
musicians. We met a friggin' stop motion artist there.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is going through 3 or 4 events over the last 6 months that we went to.
At our neighborhood bar.
Literally, we literally walk there. If we step out of our house and look down the block, I can see the bar that they play at.
Yeah.
And just from going there, we've played there once at the last event.
Yeah.
Okay. The 3 events before that, we weren't playing. We were just there.
Yeah.
And we met everybody.
Because
you want to know what the truth is?
It wasn't a hard on us. It was down the street
we walked
from the
down
house.
the street, you know, and we get there, and you know what? We're there, and just by being there, the guy who runs it always says our name because we're sitting there. Another local filmmakers over there, they're here, they're in attendance because we are one of 2 or 3 of the local filmmakers who've been there at every show so
And
far.
when we screened, we showed up with 5 or 6 people behind us.
Yeah, we brought 6 people to our screening with us. You know, even when we're not screening, we still have another friend or 2 who comes with us.
Yeah.
Even when we're not there, just because, hey guys, we're here, we're going to see a good movie. Come on down.
Yeah.
Come hang out.
Come on to the
It's
bar.
a
We'll have some
we'll
drinks.
have a drink, we'll have dinner together, we'll watch
Watch
some
some
movies.
movies. Yeah.
You know? And we make it something. And we promote and we help this guy promote his little show.
Yeah.
You know, because it is a little show. It's a little local bar.
We're one of the 4 shares that he gets on Facebook, you know? And they remember those things.
Yes.
People remember that. People remember because as long as
This is
people
a
always
business.
seem to think that when people ask support indie film, I'm asking you to hit up my Kickstarter. I'm asking you to be on my Indiegogo. I'm asking something
You're
of
asking
you.
for something.
Yeah.
You're not giving.
Yeah.
This is the problem. People don't give enough.
Yeah.
You know, this.
Well, it's part 1 and part 2 is literally that share. That share with your 500 friends, your 300 friends is 300 people that I would have been put in front of in the first place.
What is it? Thunderclap.
Yeah.
That new app, Thunderclap.
Yeah.
What does it do? It doesn't garner likes for you. It garners shares for you.
Yeah.
Because that's what's most important. Not likes, shares. It
Shares.
needs to be on other people's pages.
Yeah.
And that's how you get yourself out
Share
there.
everything. Share all your friends' stuff. Share. Do everybody
Remember-
a favor and share.
Remember that this is a business built on relationships. Okay? When you go to the theater and you see Tom Cruise in a movie and you're like, how the hell did they get Tom Cruise? What did they do? Who did he owe a favor to?
Yeah.
That he's in that movie. Guess what? He probably did.
Yeah.
You know?
He knows somebody.
Or
Somebody knows him.
Somebody in the production knows
Is
him.
the
or they
nephew
know his
of
agent.
so and so and so and so.
And he did it as a favor to them.
Yeah.
Okay? We know someone who did a music video, and he got a name actor
Yep.
in that music video. Now, knowing him, he probably could have gotten this name actor himself because he knows enough people to
Yeah.
do it. But he didn't get that actor. The musician got the actor because the musician is that big actor's stepson.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't do music videos. He's never done music videos.
No.
He's an actor.
Yeah.
He's a big actor. Well, not a big actor anymore, but he's a name actor. If you saw his face,
he's a well-known actor.
Yes, you would recognize him. And here he is in a music video shot by an NYU film crew, with an accomplished director. An accomplished director behind it. I'm not going to take anything away from him.
Yep.
He's an accomplished director. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But it's an NYU film crew for an NYU musician.
Yep.
How did he get this guy?
Yeah.
Because it's his stepfather.
Yeah.
Okay? And he did it as a favor to him to help get him out there.
Yeah.
And this happens from that level down to Hollywood.
Yes.
This happens. It's all about relationships. So you need to. So these conventions
So if you
are
have
the first
none,
place.
this is how you build them. This is
Those
how you get them.
conventions are the first places to build your relationships, where you build your relationship with your fans. I don't know how many locations of all the productions we've gotten to. How many locations have we gotten for free off of people we met at conventions?
Yeah.
How many background extras have we
Even something
gotten?
as simple as we help out a class locally, and we both have now done the class, and it's literally we're helping actors.
It's an acting class.
It's an acting class, and we attend the as a guest
This
director.
Is, what's the name of it?
Dying
name
on
of the
camera.
class. Dying for the camera. Dying for the camera. This one I will drop because I want to help them.
No, let's definitely build them up.
Yes.
So Pamela, what is her last name?
Kramer.
There we go. She is the actor of the teacher of this class.
She's also a casting.
She's a casting director professionally, so that's what she makes her living doing.
Yes,
and she's really great about becoming more and more involved in the indie scene and finding the up and coming directors to talk to these actors because we're in the trenches and we can give them.
We can give them the time.
Insight. We can give them the time. We can give them the time, and we can give them the insight as well.
Yeah. She's had a couple other directors who she's talked to that were interested in doing the class, but the class is a certain time. It's not that the class happens whatever. It happens at a certain place in a certain time.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not always easy for these directors to make it down to these classes because they're shooting somewhere.
Yeah.
The class I did last time, I did this a couple weeks ago. I was there with another director who. Wow, 18 feature films this guy has made. He's made 18 feature films. His last film had a budget of like $500,000 or $600,000. His next one just got $1 million budget.
Yeah.
All right, and I did this class with him, and that was great. Being able to just me sitting there listening to him. This person who's done so much, and the truth is, he's only a couple of years older than me too.
Yeah.
He's only like 3 or 4 years older than me. So seeing and being able to sit there and see him and see what he's done and his opinions,
And now he's built up his success and how he's done things.
I ended up we sat in a room before the class started. We talked for about a half an hour. We went down our thing. We talked, So the class will have 2 directors and 1 casting agent, one actor's agent, talent agent in the class. And basically the actors will go through, will each pick a scene that they've been rehearsing over the last couple of classes, and now they're going to perform it for us. And we give them notes as though we were in an audition or on set. How would we want them to change it, and how could they improve it, and things like that. So it's a really fun class to do. But based on this class, Scott Perry, who was just on the show, he just shot a film with all of them yesterday.
Yep.
He just shot a film with like 5 or 6 people from that class. They had a script and he directed it for them.
Yep.
So he got a short film made just from these people in the class.
Yep.
We just did a short film with 2 of the people in that class. Okay, and that will hopefully be screening very, very soon.
Yeah.
And
one of the actors from that class reached out to me and thanked me very much for my time, and I was very grateful and generous.
I've gotten it a couple times. Yes.
And this one owns a pizzeria.
Okay.
And anytime I'm shooting on the lovely Long Island, give him a call, and he'll take care of our casting crew.
Wow. See?
So it's not even these are. I mean, this is a relationship.
I didn't know that. You didn't tell me that.
Oh well, surprise! It's going to pull that out of my pocket and impress you when I cut down our budget.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Look at that.
And another one that we went to, part of the Macabre Fair Film Festival people, they run a number of different kinds of events. We attended a flea market of theirs. And we made friends with a lovely couple, and we had dinner with them afterwards. And he owns a comic book store.
Yep.
Anything he could ever do, if we ever needed a comic book to shoot in, these are relationships that you're building, and it's not just industry people. It's literally people who like what you do, like who you are, and they just want to help out. And that's amazing things to find when you're at our level.
There's something to keep in mind, because you forget this a lot of the time, or maybe you don't even realize it. Everybody likes movies. Yeah. 90% of the people that you will ever meet in your life like movies.
And they think it's magic. They think it's magic.
And if they can tell their friends that they were part of a film, they are the envy of their friends. And everybody likes being the envy of your friends. Come on, when you finished your first film, how much did you brag to your friends? I made a movie. And it was the greatest feeling to be able to say to your friends, I made a movie, or I was in a movie.
Yeah. Oh God, my best friend since I was 12 years old, went to Redbox one day, rented a movie with her boyfriend at the time. And they're watching the movie, and she goes, I know that guy. And they're like, what guy? He's like, that guy right there. I know him. Oh, I'm sure he's been in something. Man, we'll wait and we'll look him up on IMDb.
And
she's
then
like,
somebody else popped up.
Yeah, no, she's like, no. I know him. Like, personally, I know him. And then, somebody else popped up. I definitely know him. Oh my God, he's the one. Her? Oh yeah, it was her. Yeah. So I definitely know her. She was in Lynn's movie.
Yes.
So then I get a phone call, and she's like, okay, so I'm watching this movie, and it's called, Deer something. And I'm like, Deer Crossing. And she's like, yeah, how'd you know? And I was like, okay, who did you see? And she's like, I saw Pat and Carmela. And I was like, yes, you did.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend was blown away. Like, she actually knew people that they got out a movie that was in Redbox.
Yeah. And just the fact that I know these people.
Yeah.
Not even that she worked with them. She knows them personally.
Yeah.
She's personally met these people. Her boyfriend was floored.
Yeah.
And thought that she was now the coolest person in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Because they just rented her friend's movie.
Yeah.
She's 2 times removed from it, and he still thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
So remember that when you're looking for people for your film, when you're looking for for anything, remember that people want to help. They want to be part of a film, unless you live in LA, in which case everyone is part of a film.
Yeah.
Here's the truth. The closer you get to LA, the harder it is to make a movie.
Yeah.
Okay? Because the closer you get, because in LA, it's like building cars in Detroit. Everyone does it.
Yeah.
There's nothing special.
No.
You walk down the street in LA and pass four movie sets. Yeah. Okay? This is
it's like going to Kansas and being amazed that you found a farmer.
You make corns, I make corn. It's true. Wisconsin, really? You like cheese, huh? You like cheese, do you? Great. LA, you make movies, huh? Yeah, great. You and everybody else at Starbucks.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. So the closer to LA you get, the harder it is to make yourself a movie. You need to have money and connections and stuff, because every single person there, no one is giving you anything for free, because they are all fully aware of how much money is in film.
Yeah, they all know that Hollywood pays.
Yes.
And they have an opportunity to have Hollywood pay them.
Exactly. But if you live in the middle of nowhere, you live in a little town somewhere, and we have another friend who does this, he's the celebrity of the town because he makes films in their little nowhere town of Jersey. Okay, he makes films there, and
he needs a permit. He calls the mayor personally.
Yes. Yes. If he needs a street full of zombies, then they make an announcement at the monthly at the town hall meeting for the meeting. Oh, you know what? He's going to be shooting another movie on this day. If anybody's interested, please email him and let him know that you're willing to come down and help out. And next thing he knows, he's got 70 people standing on the streets in torn up clothing, acting as zombies. And then he can go out to the building, go up on the rooftop of the building, and get a shot of the entire street filled with zombies. Simply because he's in a small town and everybody knows him.
Yeah.
So when everybody knows you in your little town, they all want to help. You're making a movie, they want to be part of it.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be part of a movie. They all think it's the coolest thing in the world. And this isn't just like an ego boost thing. This isn't telling you this to boost your ego. I'm telling you this because you need to remember that people like movies.
Yes.
And it's a lot easier to get people to help than you think. All you have to do is ask. You never know. Even if they can't help you, they might know someone to help you.
Yep.
We have another friend. He's working on getting us a location because he has a friend who works in real estate. We need an empty apartment. So he picked up the phone and called his friend. He said, hey, look, I got some buddies that make it a film and they need an empty apartment. Can you help us out?
Yeah.
And he's working on it.
Yeah.
It's not definite.
And it was one phone call.
And that's it. Exactly.
All
One
he had to
phone
do- all
call
he
from
had to do
somebody
was-
he's known since high school.
Yeah, and it was literally all he had to do was one phone call for us. You know, we're not asking him to give us any money. We're not asking him to go all out of his way.
Yep. Ask
one
the guy.
phone call.
Just
one
ask
phone
somebody.
call.
If the guy says no, all right, it's over. No problem.
Thank
He
you
says,
so much. We really appreciate
yeah,
it.
thank you for trying.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll go somewhere else. We'll find it some other way.
We'll figure it out.
yeah. Remember that people know people.
Yeah.
And they're willing to help.
And you have no idea who people know.
And to get back to the subject,
Yes.
we met a lot of these people through conventions.
Yes.
So while I started out being very kind of negative towards them, there's a lot of positives that come from it too. So you have to think of it that way as well.
It's not even that we're being negative. It's a very hard
Maybe I was a
truth.
little negative,
You were a little
but-
negative.
yeah.
But it's a very hard truth. And it's something that with time, it's only something you can learn with experience and with time. And it does change your mindset when you start to understand marketing and what marketing entails. And yeah, you know, how much it costs.
Yeah.
You know, and you do learn. It hurts a little, and you know, we're really honest. Filmmaking does suck, and we love it anyway. But it does suck for sometimes, and those times where you're not making the money that you need to be making, or that you feel like you should be making, you know, it becomes a very dark time for you. But at the same time, you build relationships, you build a following,
Yes.
you connect with your people. You know, your people now know you as a person. They've shook your hand, they hung out with you, they had drinks with you.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not doing that with Tarantino. They're not doing that
No.
with Rodriguez or Kevin Smith. You know, you might get them at a bar somewhere, but they're not having
That's a
drinks.
stroke of luck.
Yeah, that's a stroke of luck.
Are you in the one place where they happen to be where you are? It's
Yeah.
a stroke of luck.
And you know, filmmaking is. Well, some people say it's show business, and business is twice as long as the show. But it is absolutely a business, and it has all of the. I don't even know where I'm going. I got lost. But no, marketing is hard. Yeah, marketing is hard.
Okay. So in conclusion, we had, 2 more subjects we wanted to cover?
Yeah, we did.
All right. We'll do that next week.
Okay.
We'll do that next week. But right now, in conclusion, since we just all we did conventions and stuff like that.
Conventions and film
Yeah,
festivals.
conventions and film festivals.
Marketing your film.
If you're going to do conventions, be aware of the fact that it does cost a lot of money to make your film and then sell it yourself.
Yeah.
You know, but the connections you can possibly find through these things by doing them enough. Go to them when you're not even there. Just go to attend.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a filmmaker, you go to conventions. There's a convention near you. Go over there and meet the other filmmakers. Walk up to the tables of the other filmmakers there. Have a business card. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Buy your business cards. You can go to Vistaprint.
Yeah.
You can get your business cards done for free. You can absolutely get like 50 or 100 business cards made for free. But it's going to have a Vistaprint logo on the back. And I'm telling you this in a harsh truth fact. When someone hands you a business card
Yes.
with that Vistaprint logo on the back, they know you got it for free because they can get it for free. And they don't take you seriously at all. If you can't put down $7 to $10 to get 500 business cards made, then you don't take your business. You don't take this seriously enough for them to take you seriously.
And another little tidbit is don't be afraid to write on the back of that white card.
Yes.
You know, if you have a conversation with somebody and you like, you know, us, like, I dropped off a card the other day and I had mentioned to somebody this podcast. I wrote Filmmaking Sucks podcast in the back of the card because when we go to shows, we get handed tons and tons of cards.
Yeah,
and if I
can't remember who
and I
they
can't
were.
remember who anybody. So when you go at that little extra step and you're like, this is who I am.
I always come back to when I first met Brad. When I first met Brad, when he handed me his card because we were about to start filming Blood Slaughter, and he had that look. He's got that '80s look. He had he had the feathered hair and everything. When he handed me his card, I turned it over and I wrote Ricky Rocket on the back because that's who he reminded me of with his big hair and you know, and I've always remembered. Look at that. That was 6 years ago. I still remember that I wrote his name as Ricky Rocket on the back. So this way, when I got home and I went through my cards, I saw Ricky Rocket. I said, "Oh, this is the guy. I wanted him." I remember the conversation. I remember
exactly the conversation that we had.
I remember the full conversation. We were talking about collecting VCRs and old Betamax and all the old equipment that he had in his house and his racks of stuff and collectibles of old 80s software and hardware that he had. I remember talking about all that, and his room full of keyboards and the video store that he had in his basement. I remember having that conversation standing on the edge of the table, trying to not block the table while talking to him about it. Simply because I wrote that on the back and I remembered it. And then to this day, I still remember that. I'll always remember Brad as Ricky Rocket on the back of the card, regardless of how much we worked with him.
I mean, double-sided business cards are flashy and they're nice, but at the same time, if you have to go with an all-white back,
there's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Have something on. You have an opportunity to write something on the back of it
that makes you memorable.
Yes. Even so, let's say you're doing your film. Your film is playing at a film festival somewhere. Go to Staples. Get a $10 pack of address labels. All right, and you print out the place, the time, and the location. The location, the time, and the name of your film on those little address labels. And before you go to a show, get 10 or 15 of your business cards and stick that sticker on the back. So whenever you hand it to somebody, we do this with our postcards for the film. We make generic postcards for our film, where I'll have the poster on the front, and I'll make sure I get the glossy. Always get the glossy for this specific reason. And then on the back, which is flat and matte, I have the website, I have the Facebook page, the Twitter page written on the back of it. I even put a QR code so that when they scan it with their phone, it brings them directly to the trailer on YouTube. Okay, I put the cast listing, I put the name of the film and a little synopsis of the film on the back of the card. But on the front of the card, I put the poster image, I get glossy, and even when I design when I design the postcard, okay, there's always an area on the postcard that's just part of the image. All right. Oh, that's part of it. There's no word, the Theta States written on top, written in the middle, and the names of the actors are on the top. But on the bottom is usually where you would put like your cast listing, the basic credits of a poster. Get those address labels, put them on the bottom of that card for whatever your next screening is. So people who pick up those cards, they have your information right there. And even if you don't use them all, this is why you get glossy. So when you get home, you can peel those labels right off and put the next one on and reuse them.
And no damage to the card.
No damage to the card. That's why it's glossy. Okay, there's a nice, cheap, easy way of getting everybody to see your postcard, use the same postcards, because we used to... I remember the first Blood Slaughter postcards we had, they said playing at the Late Night Horror Film Festival, and we had 150 of them made. What are we going to do with 150 of them for one screening in LA? Big stupid mistake, because now we have these postcards that are totally out of date and we can't do anything with them. So make yourself generic postcards that just advertise the film itself, get some address labels, put them on the front that tell you where the next screening is. We're doing a show at Severed, and we're going to be at Severed on May 27th in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. We'll be there. Okay. I'm going to have the postcards because on May 28th in
Lake Hopatcong.
In Lake Hopatcong in New Jersey, we're screening Theta States. So we're going to go there Saturday. We're going to have our business cards. We're going to have the little address label on there telling everybody that the screening is playing literally half an hour down the road tomorrow. All right.
So when all those people come up to you, when's your movie? What's next? What's next? There you go. Tomorrow.
If they buy anything, take that card, throw it in the bag with them. So when they get home, they open it up, they see the stuff, they see the card, and it says the screening. Tomorrow. Because we're doing it for that specific day, tomorrow. Write it on there. Tomorrow. Sunday, May 28th. So those are just little ways of getting people's attention at conventions. Another thing to do when you're at a convention, you have those postcards, put a little address label on the bottom of it. Come by the table in the main vendor room for a free poster. As again, your posters are going to cost you 60 to 70 cents each. You're going to get 100 of them. Nobody's buying that poster of a movie they've never heard of for $10. Nobody, give them away for free. They're promotional materials. We've sold posters. Yes, we have. We have sold posters. But in the long run, you know what? For $70, You got 100 posters. If you can get 10 people to come to your table just because you're giving it to them for free, there's a chance they buy it.
We literally know filmmakers who do the self-burn DVD and then hand those out as business cards. You know,
They hand the DVDs out for free.
Yeah.
They burn the DVDs out of their short films and they hand them out for free.
Yep.
They go, here you go, and it's got their contact information and whatever and their website on the disc, and they've done that. You know, so conventions may be a really hard way of spending your money, an easy way to separate yourself from your money and get yourself into a lot of debt. But it's also an excellent way of getting yourself out there, getting people to see you, getting people to know you, and meeting those fans who are going to become your fan base.
Yes,
they're going to become that concrete basin to this building.
The foundation. They will be your foundation.
They will be the foundation that you will build your entire career on. And 20 years from now, when you're making amazing films somewhere, those people will still be there for you.
Yes.
Okay? So always remember those people who met you long ago, and always take care of them.
Let's take it into the next step too. When you have that foundation and say you finally have that idea that you're going to do the Kickstarter, the Indiegogo for, those people are going to be the people that reach out, that you want to reach out to, and they're going to be the ones that support you.
They're going to be the first ones to donate. Within that first week, they're going to be the people who are the first ones to donate. Donate
and share, and they're going to be there to support you, and that's what you're building.
Mm-hmm. That's what you're building. You're building a fan base. You're building a foundation by doing conventions. So it sucks and it costs a lot of money, but in the long run, you do it often enough, you will build fans, and we love every single one of them. Everyone who comes with a table, I remember them. I may not remember all their names because a lot of people, and I'm terrible with names, but I remember everybody's face. Everybody comes to the table.
The new trick I've learned is every time I meet somebody and I get their name, I create a song inside my head and I sing it until I meet somebody else.
I can't do that. I can't do that. My songs are too depressing. I won't like anybody then. So the music I listen to is depressing. I can't relate people to Joy Division songs. I'm just gonna want to kill myself.
Oh, I just put everything to I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts.
Oh Jesus. On that note. Thank you all for listening. This has been Filmmaking Sucks. We will be at Severed in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania on May 27th, and then we will be at the First Contact Film Festival May 28th in Lake Hopatcong at Camp Jefferson in New Jersey, where we will be screening third screening of Theta States. If you have not seen it yet, this is the place to see it. They have a nice theater with an excellent sound system. We played Blood Slaughter there in 2015, and it was honestly one of the best screenings we've had, the best visual and the best sound screening we've ever had.
And it's actually great. It's actually like a little summer camp, and it's way out in the woods. You feel like you're on Friday the 13th. Yeah. It's a cool little location.
Which coincidentally, if you drive about 45 minutes down the road, you will get to Camp Nobibosco, where they actually filmed Friday the 13th. Camp Blood. That is the actual Camp Blood is 45 minutes down the road from Camp Jefferson. So
come see us and then go see Horror History.
There you go. Come see us. We're screening at 2:40 p.m. at the amphitheater the movie theater in Camp Jefferson. So come check us out there. In the meantime, that's it for us at Filmmaking Sucks.
Oh, real quick, we created a Twitter handle for Theta States. So
Theta_States at Twitter at Theta_States.
Yeah, so give us a follow and you can keep up with everything else that we're doing for that.
Yes, promoting the hell out of that film. So that's about it. We've run long again, as usual.
Sorry.
I think this is becoming this is almost our regular time here. We started the show off, wanted it to be a half hour each episode. We're running into like an hour and a half each, but whatever. We have a lot to say. We have a lot to say.
If you want us to shut up, tell us. If you want us to keep going, tell us. Just tell us. Give us 5 stars.
I do want to say one more thing.
Oh.
Thank you to Hank and Mark Abbott and even Scott Perry, who
and
Todd, yes,
and
Danielle. Who else? People who've reached out to us and told us how much the show has helped them just by listening to it, and it's helped them in their own projects. It's helped them personally in promoting their projects and getting their projects to completion, even getting it straight to
getting it started,
getting it into production, going through pre-production.
Yeah.
You know, We want to thank you guys. Thank you so much for listening to the show. This is you're the reason we do this.
Yeah.
You're the reason. Well, we know that a lot of people out there, we want to help you. We'd like to help you all, but we can't help everybody individually. So we're doing this show because we want to help people.
Yeah.
We've made a lot of mistakes. We've been through a lot of hell. We know a lot of people who've made a lot of mistakes as well. Mm-hmm. So if we can impart some of that knowledge onto
if we're sharing your mistakes, don't take it personally. Don't think that we're talking bad about you or anything like that.
We are sharing our own damn mistakes.
we're airing our dirty laundry too,
Yes.
and we try not to drop names, and we're trying not to be too bad about it. But it's all about helping. It's all about the greater good.
Yeah, so thank you guys for listening. I'm so glad you all get something out of this show. We're going to keep this going for a while. We're going to keep going this as long as we can. We may not get an episode every week, but
we're going to try our damnedest.
We're going to try our hardest to get something out there all the time. So thank you all for listening. I hope to have more people out there. Please, everybody else, please share the show. Send it to your friends. We have filmmaking friends who are actually people who we work with, who are learning stuff from us based on this show alone.
It literally made me I teared up when Mark stopped me, and just wanted to say thank you that I helped him and that the show really kind of let him see things in a different light, and that meant a whole lot. And if you have questions, you have a particular topic, if we haven't touched on it yet, send us an email. We'll
filmmakingsucks@gmail.com.
Yeah, we'll cover it. We'll find somebody in our group of filmmakers. If we can't answer it, we'll do our best to find you an answer.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you for listening. Subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher and Google Play and whatever other podcatching app of your choice. Please, thanks, share it, love us, hate us, whatever.
Just rate us.
Just rate us, please. Rate us on one of those things. That's it. Good luck, everybody. Make good movies, please.
Good night and good luck.